presented by Auraverse, where consciousness, earth and inner wisdom move as one. Showcase your work at auraverse.network and let your voice travel across worlds.
Before we begin, allow your breath to soften and imagine that awareness itself is sinking gently inward toward a center that quietly includes everything. Welcome. I am C.S. Douglas, and this is Codex Æternum, the Rational Bible, a journey through the hidden architecture of power and the living conscience of the universe.
This program is endorsed by Authorpedia, the world's only encyclopedia exclusively dedicated to authors, a living archive where writers and thinkers are immortalized through literature. Visit authorpedia.org and become part of our enduring legacy.
In Book 6, The Sages, we now continue Episode 91, The Vedic Sages and the Light That Is All. Long before ink met parchment in Athens, in the forests and fire-lit clearings of ancient India, there lived seers who listened so deeply that they seemed to hear the universe speaking itself. They are remembered as the Vedic Sages, and the distilled essence of their insight is preserved in the Upanishads. These texts are less sermons than conversations, whispers between teacher and student, often in the stillness before dawn, about what is most radically true. The Upanishads turn the spiritual search inward. Early Vedic religion had emphasized sacrifice, ritual actions performed in precise order to harmonize heaven and earth. The sages who composed the Upanishads began to ask a more intimate question. Who is the one who offers and receives? Who is the witness of all this? Their answer led them from outer fire to inner light. They spoke first of Brahman, not a god among gods, but the ultimate reality itself. Infinite, unchanging, the ground of all being. Brahman is not merely in things, it is that by which anything can exist at all. Some passages describe it as existence, consciousness, and infinity. Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Others resort to paradox. Not this, not that, to show that whatever you can point to is already too small. Yet the sages did not stop at the cosmic. They turned the same gaze inward and found Atman, the innermost self, the silent witness behind thoughts, sensations, and roles. Atman is not your personality, not your changing moods or memories. It is what remains when you notice that all these are objects in awareness and ask, who is aware? The most shocking claim of the Upanishads is that Atman and Brahman are not two. The very core of you and the very core of the universe are the same reality seen from different angles. A teacher in the Chandogya Upanishad points to this with the phrase Tat Tvam Asi, that thou art. What you seek as the vastness beyond, you already are, once you look deep enough within. If this is so, why do we not live from it naturally? The sages speak of Maya, not illusion in the sense of non-existence, but a kind of spell of misperception. Under the sway of Maya, we identify with limited forms, this body, this story, this fear, this desire. We see ourselves as separate fragments among other fragments. Like someone in a dream who forgets they are dreaming, we move through life as if the temporary shapes of things were the whole truth. The path they offer is therefore a path of recognition. It is not about constructing a new self or climbing into heaven. It is about seeing through the mistaken limitations we have placed around what we already are. The Upanishads often use images, a salt doll that dissolves in the ocean and can no longer say where it ends and the sea begins, or space inside a clay pot, which appears separate until the pot breaks and space reveals itself as continuous. This recognition is called Moksha, liberation. Moksha is not a reward elsewhere, it is the ending of a fundamental misunderstanding about self and world. When it dawns, birth and death are seen as play of forms within a reality that neither comes nor goes. the individual no longer feels exiled in a foreign universe. They know themselves as the universe awake to itself. The Vedic sages are clear that such realization does not come by clever argument alone. It asks for practice, disciplines that calm the mind, purify intention, and turn attention inward. Among these is Jnana Yoga, the path of knowledge. Here, the seeker studies the teachings, reflects deeply, and engages in vichara, self-inquiry. Who am I truly when I do not cling to any passing thought, role, or sensation? Each false answer, once seen through, loosens the grip of Maya. Meditation, or dhyana, is another central strand. In meditation, the senses are gently withdrawn, and the mind's restless commentary is allowed to settle. Sometimes a mantra, a sacred sound like Om, revered as the sonic symbol of Brahman, is repeated to steady attention. As the surface quiets, awareness begins to taste itself as open, boundaryless, unmoved by the play of thoughts. In such moments, the statement, "I am Brahman," is no longer a concept. It is a direct, wordless recognition. These inner practices are woven together with what later traditions call yoga, which simply means union. The Upanishadic way is not limited to one temperament. It holds space for multiple approaches: Jnana Yoga, knowing, questioning, discerning; Bhakti Yoga, devotion, love of the divine in personal form; Karma Yoga, selfless action, work offered to the whole; Raja Yoga, the royal path of meditation and mental mastery. Different paths, yet all aimed at the same discovery, that the core of the seeker and the sought is one. Self-discipline, or tapas, supports all of this. Tapas is the heat generated when you hold to a noble aspiration through discomfort. It may take the form of simplifying your life, restraining harmful impulses, or persisting in practice when immediate rewards are not obvious. Its purpose is not self-punishment, but the burning away of what obscures. As impurities are reduced, the underlying clarity shines, less hindered. Ethical living is not optional ornamentation. It is the foundation. Principles such as ahimsa, non-violence, satya, truthfulness, asteya, non-stealing, brahmacharya, wise stewardship of energy, and aparigraha, non-grasping, prepare the mind and heart for deeper realization. When your actions align with these, there is less inner conflict, and meditation is not constantly disturbed by remorse or hidden aggression. Seen from this perspective, every aspect of life becomes part of spiritual practice. Work done without clinging to results is karma yoga. Moments of gratitude and awe are seeds of bhakti. Honest reflection on your own motives belongs to jnana. Even simple, conscious breathing can be a step along Raja Yoga's path. What emerges from the Upanishadic vision is a world in which nothing is truly outside the divine. Every person you meet, every creature, every star, is an expression of the same Brahman that shines as your own self. Recognizing this naturally softens the boundaries between self and other. Compassion is no longer merely a moral duty. It is the spontaneous response of one wave recognizing another as the same ocean. Carry this revelation as an inward turning. Whenever you feel small, isolated, or lost, experiment with asking quietly, "What am I, really, before this story, before this fear?" Do not rush for an answer. Let the question sink below the level of quick thoughts. The Vedic sages assure you that what you are seeking is not absent. It is the very awareness doing the seeking. In our next episode, we cross oceans to stand on the plains, mountains, and forests of the Americas. There we listen to Native American sages, voices like Black Elk, Chief Seattle, Ohiesa, and Tecumseh, who speak of the sacred hoop and the profound interconnectedness of all life. They will show us a world where every creature, stone and river is a relative. where the circle of relationship is itself a teacher, and where living in balance is recognized as a sacred responsibility to the great web that holds us all. Our next sponsor is Everly Books Publishing Group, a traditional independent press serving both new and established writers. Everly Books welcomes unsolicited manuscripts submitted directly through everlybooks.org.